The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
Eric's Family Barbecue has arrived and is simply the best barbecue in Arizona. Come satisfy your taste buds with meats that are smoked over mesquite wood and sides that are made with fresh ingredients and tons of love. They have the best, juiciest brisket, pulled pork, rib sausage, turkey, or everyone's favorite, the Pitmaster Sampler that includes all the meat and 4 sides, mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, corn, or beans, yum. And for dessert, try some creamy banana pudding, amazing. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip, you won't be sorry. Dine in or take it to go. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more info.
You thought that was funny.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
You were laughing like a hyena when he said it.
98.
What the hell is wrong with you?
K-U-K-U-D.
Good morning, everybody. Hello there. Welcome to Friday. It's 5:45. It's the Morning Sickness. My name is John Holmberg. There is Brady Bogan, Brett Festley, Big Dick Toledo. Here we go. Friday morning, day after football. Felt pretty good watching football last night.
Yes,
like
it did.
A real thing. There was a crowd. It's a hell of a game. Really good game. My bets.
Still alive?
Zeros. No, I'm out. You're out.
I'm out.
You're
I'm out too.
What was yours? I
had
forgot.
the Phillies-Yankees both winning. And Phillies lose to Colorado. Terrible team.
What?
And the Yankees lost to the Blue Jays. I'll give them that one.
That
But,
one's okay.
I mean,
Blue Jays are a pretty good team. Wow.
So I don't know if Toledo's still in or not.
Damn it. Yeah, we all got bounced. So that euphoria.
So close. I got a good teasing, too, because Dallas, their
What did
first drive.
You had Dallas scoring first.
Their opening drive would be a field goal.
Oh.
And the Bengals as well.
Oh, so you would have had, you had the double up.
So the first part of it was looking good. They get down to the 30, they get 40, then the 38, and then they got stuffed.
Yeah, they didn't get it.
Yep. Penalty.
What's your bet?
ASU.
Oh, that's right. You got UNLV and ASU.
Yeah.
That was your weekly bet. Are you guys going to do more this weekend on your own private bet, or
I think I am.
our weekly bet?
Probably.
I am going to for sure. I was
looking at some of them.
I'm looking at my Steelers-Bills game because I'll bet that. I don't bet outside of my own.
Your own team?
I will only bet like player prop bets.
Oh.
So I'll bet my own team on that. I can't. That's the reason I can't do fantasy football is because I'll only draft Steelers.
Right.
I don't ever want to root for another team's player. I can't imagine how I would feel if my player's playing and the Steelers are like in a crucial
Jackson
game. And I'm sitting, I'm watching Lamar Jackson. I'm like, all right, I need him to do well because I've got one of the receivers. I would never take a Raven, and it might be like the best player. It's just I can't disassociate the love, my true one and only heart love in life is the Steelers. Sorry, everybody in my life. It's just the only thing that really makes me go, I can't ever. We're just a thing. You don't understand. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, so I've tried fantasy football. And the one year I got involved, the Steelers were 6-10. It's their last losing season. It was 20 years ago. And I'm like, I have all Steelers, and they're all terrible. And my fantasy football team's a waste of time. And everybody's like, why did you pick all Steelers? I'm like, because what am I supposed to do? Pick against, pick players from other teams? You should have a running back from at least somewhere else. Like, what in the world would I do that for? We've got Jerome Bettis, although he was in a rough spot that year. So, yeah, I can't do the fantasy thing. But last night was fun. So I can go on the FanDuel and pop around and goof on the, if I could bet that Chase Claypool has 2 touchdowns. I would make that bet.
There you go.
I would bet that, Najee Harris has plus 50 yards in the game. I'll make that. But I'm not going to bet like the Bills will do this and the Ravens. I can't do it. I can't put my heart and soul in another team something because then I got to root for them. And that feels wrong. It just feels wrong. Bengals. Can you root for one of their players to die on the field? Because if that's a prop bet, I'll do that because that's the only thing I care about is one of them has an embarrassed. If a Bengal, if Joe Burrow pisses his pants was a bet, I would do that. That's hilarious and it's embarrassing, and I would bet that yes, he would.
That would be a definite high plus column there.
Yeah. Oh no, that would be a thing.
6,000
proving it and the testing. Good. I would take that. Yeah, it's a good odds bet. But yeah, I don't want to bet that Joe Burrow has a good day or a big day. I can bet against him.
We find out he wears diapers.
I bet against him, and then I got to root for the defense that's playing him. I can't do it. I can't root for any other teams. I can't do it. I'm watching all this stuff on the Cardinals and things like that. It's got to be rough because Cliff Kingsbury, remember even last year, he's like, God, he's sexy. Ladies love this Cliff Kingsbury. And he's walking around in his Mack Weldons and ever showing us great. And then he's got a picture at the draft in his house, and he's the coolest guy. Now he's like, hey, you don't make the playoffs. We don't want you here. You're out. We need you to do something or you're gone. Like, good Lord, as the tables turned on Cliff in the last, 2 months. Yeah, we bought a bunch of players, and if you don't,
this is it, dude.
This is it, buddy. Remember how much we liked you a year ago? Not anymore. And Steve Keim better get that bottle ready, because if Cliff goes, he goes. You can't have 4 head coaches in your general managership and no playoff appearances. I didn't realize this. I just heard this. The Cardinals' playoff drought is second behind the Jets. I didn't realize it had been that long since they'd been out.
Really?
Yeah. And the Jets were, I don't know if it's 7 years. They haven't been in the playoffs in a long time. Cardinals, I didn't even realize that. It's been a while. So this is the year, and everybody's fired. Keim's out. Kingsbury's out. They've done it before, but then what? Then you start over again.
Yeah.
With, a super talented, overpaid team. Oh, boy. Cardinals, keep your fingers crossed. And Sunday's going to be the big test for them, because that's another team on the other side with the Titans. They got a lot to prove. They went out and spent some money, got a couple of players. So they're a team that's like Super Bowl or bust this year. Oh, it's going to be a good opener. Football's back.
I know a couple of guys that are heading there. They're going to that game.
Going to the Titans game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to me, that just seems like a waste of time. I just don't like the Cardinals. I don't like anybody. Like, why would you travel to see anybody but my Steelers? It doesn't make sense. Next week, I think the Steelers are in Vegas.
In Nashville wouldn't be too bad.
Nashville's awesome. Yeah, I would dodge the game.
It's
Nashville's
more of a
incredible.
guy's
I'd
deal.
watch
check
the
out the
Steelers
game
at a bar in Nashville. That would be great. And then just get out of that. But
you going to go up to Vegas and check them out?
No, I don't like – here's another weird thing. I don't like going to other teams' stadiums dressed in the visiting team's gear.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. Especially
Raiders.
Well, I think that used to be a thing. I don't know that that's in their new palace.
It's like the Vegas Raiders.
We were up there for the Guns show, and you walk through that stadium, and it's really nice. It's kind of a basic stadium, but it's got all the amenities and new stuff. But it doesn't scream like
this is a
Raiders.
Pit.
Yeah,
You're
tough
be,
Raiders.
You come in with your jersey, it's over.
It's basically an incredibly nice nightclub with a football field on.
So they're serving White Claws and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got White Claws everywhere. Yeah, and White Claws, normally too expensive for a Raider fan. But here, there's money flowing. You could tell there's going to be a lot more money floating around. Now, I know Oakland fans are going to go, Oakland is right there by the Silicon Valley. And all right. But Raider fan is not
still in Oakland.
Look, Raider fan owes his friends a couple bucks. That's every Raider fan knows. Hey, Raider fan, you owe that guy probably some money. And I'll get a couple of anomaly Raider fans that email me. I don't know anybody. I've got my quiet down. You're like the 1% of Raider fans. Raider fan spends all his money on silver and black toxic makeup for days and everything, and weddings, because they go to their weddings dressed as Raiders. And look, you owe people money. Raider fan, you know it. You know you owe money. Bear fan, you have to keep aside for a few bucks of blood pressure medicine, because you're on more than anybody in the world.
I'm going to check on FanDuel and see if there's one for Virginia McCaskey dying this year.
You're rooting for it.
Yeah.
She's got to go eventually. The over-under on that old lady staying another year is
good.
I mean, I look at it like she's not making it through. This is her last season.
Thank God. Then Bears will come back to winning again. Or have a chance, at least.
Because she was there when they won it in 85. She was in her 80s then. She's always been ancient. That woman has always been 1,000 years old. But, yeah, it's exciting because you get to talk about all that. I think the Packers and Bears lead in high blood pressure meds.
Especially my house, because my girl's a Packers
That's right.
fan. So
she on
brutal.
HPP too?
Yeah.
Is she?
Oh, yeah.
She's a high blood pressure girl?
The whole thing with the whole Aaron Rodgers debacle that was going on in the offseason.
But she's not really on pills.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say. Jeez, Brady got excited that he wasn't alone.
Like, what?
She looks great. Yeah, she's not an H. She will be, though, if she keeps it up.
Yeah.
Because, Packer fan, it's just innate that eventually you become kind of a lard ass. That's just that it's a thing. I've seen it.
She better not.
Yeah. And yes, I understand that most Steeler fans probably have some sort of a criminal record about grabbing a cousin or something. I understand that. They're people from the woods. I'm not one of them. But at least we don't owe money, Raider fan. That's it. Seahawk fans, liberal cucks. I mean, that's basically the entire state. It is the whole state. There are no Republican Steeler fans. If you're a right-wing or Seahawk fan, right-wing Seahawk fan.
Our tailgating's a little different.
Oh, you guys don't tailgate. You just they plant trees. They plant trees.
Clam chowder.
Yeah,
Come on.
you have chowder and tofu on a a grill? Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Are you kidding me? A propane grill?
water,
You know what?
They don't recommend tailgating.
You own 2 trees. No plant trees.
Kombucha.
Oh, yeah. And the worst part is that it looks like it's tailgating, but what it is just they allow homeless people to wander around the parking lot because they can't.
Where are all
kick
these
them out of
tents?
anything. Yeah, the tents are tailgates. Like, no, that's a
Looks
homeless
like the
camp.
biggest party.
It's
Bengal fans, all retarded. So, I mean, there's just definitely stereotypes that anybody who's willing to eat spaghetti, chili, and butter and top it with more cheese and chili.
the river is rocking on Sundays
yeah,
there.
exactly.
Kentucky and
River's the ugly side, isn't it? You
The
gotta get
river's
that Mount
rocking.
Adams to be
'cause
okay.
Everybody gets in to take a bath to go to the game. That's why the river
Yeah.
rocks. Yeah.
It's like India.
Cincinnati's probably the closest thing America's got to India. I would say, and don't even bring up Detroit, but yeah, Cincinnati
Does that
is
count?
about as, if India were white people, it would be Cincinnati and Kentucky. Because it is Kentucky. It's the same place. Cincinnati tries to be part of Ohio. It's not. And Kentucky and Ohio aren't different, but by that
well,
river,
it made the cut
it's
because it's on the right side of the river.
It's on the right side of the river, and it's still where it is. Indiana's meth capital of the world borders right there with Ohio and Kentucky, and Cincinnati is the meeting point.
That's the magic triangle right there.
Absolute hellhole. Cincinnati is awful. Cincinnati, Toledo, Cleveland. You guys have some real champ towns. I liked Columbus.
River towns.
I liked Columbus. That was nice. You got one.
River and lake.
When we went back there, I'm like, hey, Columbus isn't so bad. Cleveland, been there. It should have stayed on
Toledo
fire.
is awesome.
Toledo
You
is the
loved
worst.
Toledo.
Toledo is the worst. That's Beirut. That is. I would have. Look, first flight out of Toledo to Kandahar would have been awesome. They don't have an airport because everybody would leave.
Did you fly out of
Worse.
Toledo or did you fly out
Good
of
Lord,
Detroit?
no, I didn't. You know what kind of airline I'd have had to take to go into Toledo? We were
I
Wright
know
Brothers
exactly
Air.
Which one you had to take?
I would have. If Amelia Earhart was the pilot to go to Toledo, I'd get on. Like, good. At least we don't get to the end.
At least I have a chance of jumping out.
Toledo is the Tucson of Ohio.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, exactly. Now, see, I've hit a nerve. I've explained it well. Sorry, Brady. Most of your state just
That makes
flat
sense.
sucks. It's the Midwest. It's the whole thing.
I've
is,
never been to Cleveland, so I can't.
Oh. Oh. It lit itself on fire once.
Forgot about that.
It lit itself on fire. Like, Cleveland doesn't want to be there.
Cleveland
burn this
rocks,
down.
man.
Cleveland does rock, and I wish it would rock right and roll into the ocean. It's a dump. It's a dump. Okay, I'll give you Columbus. You should just be proud of Columbus. Columbus is nice. Like Phoenix. Phoenix is great in Arizona. It's nice. Flagstaff's nice. Tucson is just an absolute dive. Most of our smaller cities and the places you want to avoid. They're pretty. There's a lot of like scenic stuff. But then there's those people. Like Payson. You guys have ruined that place. Like Payson people have ruined the glory of the Mogollon Rim. You have to get
You have to go to the private
you have
areas.
to go hide. You have to go. Yeah, the golf course, the rim course that Payson people aren't allowed in.
Chaparral.
And you
across
know when
the
you know,
street.
oh, Sholo's the worst of all of it. Because when I lived there, I'm like, seems really beautiful and serene. And then every once in a while, you're like, oh, look out there. I think there's a wild animal walking across the. No, it's a meth head on all fours. I don't know what he's doing. Is it truffle pig or human? I don't know
he's
what
an
it is.
elk.
Yeah, he's naked. Of course he is. Why does he have a car battery? Oh, he stole that. And then you go to Sholo and you go over to the Torion golf course, and it's gorgeous. You're like, whoa, they did this right. All the houses are really nice. They're all renters coming up from Phoenix. And then you go to the Torion golf course restaurant, and you realize that it employs Sholo people. So the service is like you're being served by Night of the Living Dead. It's just these weirdos dressed well, but they're terrible at their jobs.
That's their only formal outfit.
Oh, Denny's waitresses, 3 a.m. Denny's waitress is equipped and better qualified to serve food than a Sholo person at Torion on the high times. They're all kind of just lost eyes, just making their meth money for the day. Let's be honest about our towns. Let's not go crazy. It's beautiful, but let's know where we're at.
they're not serving a Kai anytime soon. Was what
Oh,
you're saying.
God, no. They're no Kai Jeremy. Forget it. Hopkins called me yesterday. He goes, I think Hopkins looks at bills. He's very much about the money. Not in a...
Was he trying to split it up?
Oh, no, not like
more?
in a bad way. He's like, he just wanted to look at the bill and see, like, what... It did seem pretty... And we didn't get charged for a bunch of stuff. I don't know that we got charged for drinks. And Hopkins calls me. He goes, I think we screwed Jeremy. And I'm like, we did all right. Why? And he goes, well, I don't think he charged us for a bunch of things. And I'm like, well, that's because you were with a celebrity. TV's Doug Hopkins. And he's like,
Right,
now we both feel bad that I'm going to drive back out there this weekend and go find Jeremy and give him more money. Because I can't live like that. I can't live with, like, I actually
He was such
hate
a
it.
pro. How did that happen, though?
Because he was being nice to us.
Oh,
So he's cutting stuff off the bill.
gotcha.
So Doug looked at it and he goes, we didn't get charged for everything. Look, we didn't get any of the drinks, and the drinks are probably $25 each.
Bottle
And I only
wine.
had one. And we didn't have the bottles, but he had the flight. And he's like, I don't think I got something. I'm like, I actually hate it. I hate it when a server or somebody tries to be nice and leave stuff off the bill and doesn't tell me. Because I will tip accordingly. If you are a server and you're listening and you're like, hey, Holmberg's here, and you do the free bill or you knock stuff off, which I don't understand. When I was poor, no one did that to me. I've got money to pay and people give me deals. It doesn't make any sense. They did it for the Cardinals all the time when I worked at Tony Roma's, and they come in and like,
Griffey Jr.,
Stump Mitchell's
Jay
here.
Buhner.
Stump Mitchell's here. I'm like, okay, so? Oh, my God. Well, comp him. I think he makes millions of dollars. I think if anybody gets comped in this place, it shouldn't be that guy. He'll be all right. At max, his bill's going to be $40.
He can afford a rack of ribs.
Comp him. He'll tell all the other Cardinals.
He can afford it. He
Like,
can
then we got to
definitely
give
afford it.
Cardinals free food? No. And we did. And the next thing you know, Steve Berline's there in 2 crutches, and like all these Cardinals are rolling in. We started to do a Cardinals radio show, and these guys would just sit there, and we'd comp Cardinals. And I was like, why are we doing this? Well, you always comp celebrities because they tell their, this is ridiculous. But if you comp me, I'm going to pay you. The tip is going to be what the bill was plus the tip for that bill.
Right.
Because I will give you the money that you gave. I don't want free stuff. I hate free stuff. It drives me. I like free stuff. I don't like
Obligated.
because
free stuff.
obligated, and then you feel like, oh, I didn't.
You're into them for something.
Well, not even into. Oh, that's definitely. That's why your barter system. I couldn't live like that. When you barter stuff, I couldn't do it because it's never even. Because my tip at Kai the other night, I feel like was a little shy of what it should have been, because the bill would have been more, and I want to give him. If he's giving me stuff, I got to give him stuff. I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't like when somebody discounts something for him. Just let me pay full pull. I'm here to pay full pull. I like that.
Yeah,
you
otherwise I wouldn't have
you gave me stuff that had prices on it. I was fully aware of that. I'm ready to go. If you want to be nice and buy me a dessert, things like that, I'll tip accordingly. But don't do that, because it makes me now I'm uncomfortable. Now I feel like, can I go back? As Jeremy's, here's that cheap ass. I gave him half a free meal, and he gave me a tip on the bill that I gave him. I want evens. I like walking out of things dead even, not with like, you owe me this, or I owe you lawn service for your, I couldn't do it. Just, I have money in my pocket, I'm going to give it to you. You charge me accordingly.
Muggy on Rim people are texting in.
They've got phones? Oh,
John,
burners. Go ahead.
John, I live in Payson.
I'm sorry.
And I work in Chaparral Pines. Night and day difference, my friend. Night and effing day.
He's 2 different
I don't
places.
belong with these wasps, my friend. That was one.
He's a Payson person.
Yeah.
So he knows I'm a Payson person.
Also, John, Sholo people here, but at least we have a high lift for your friggin' Jeep, moron.
That is true. I didn't have my high lift. I didn't know I was going to get a flat tire from all the needles, though. So, fairness, I didn't really expect to be driving over your obstacles. That is true. I did not have my high lift in Sholo last October. Good memory. Jesus. People, please. Yeah, that place is Sholo's an odd spot. But I do like – I was in Payson in 1989 with my friend Mark Stebbings. We decided to go camping the weekend before school started. And we're up there camping and goofing around, and I'm like – and we just weren't into it. Something was going on. It was like, just not into it.
Let's go.
It got cold, like really cold. I'm like, I don't want to be here. It's August. I'm like, how is it cold? I'm freezing. The wood's all wet. We can't make a good fire. It's all just let's go. So we go over to what is now the Knights Inn Hotel. It used to be something else, like a Motel 6. It's the last stop before you leave
Nights
Payson.
in the height.
Oh, in 1989, the Knights Inn. So he's looking at us. I think Mark was 18 and I was 17. I can't rent rooms to kids. Mark's like, come on. We gave him an extra 20, which was like lighting the dude's house.
It's like another night.
You guys want wheat?
Yeah, and in the first Bush era, that was like, holy, your $20 is extra. So we get a room, and he's like, I don't want you kids. It was like an 80s movie. I don't need you kids partying and acting up. I got respectable people here. I'm like, all right, fine.
You're in Payson, pal.
We're getting a shower. And first thing in the morning, we're out of here. What's he do? Rents the room across the hall to a bunch of hot girls about our age, 17, 18 years old. And they have Keystone and all sorts. We were walking in. I remember my shorts. I was in Bugle Boy shorts.
Nice.
And we passed each other in the hall, and I walked in, and Mark looks at me, and he goes, oh, my. I'm like, yep. And so then there was one dude with him kind of as the guardian. And this was Payson in a nutshell. This story goes for a second. It's a good one, though. So they knock on our door, like, you guys want to come over and drink and stuff? I'm like, yes. Just showered, put my Bugle Boys back on. Pretty proud of them. They said Bugle Boy down the leg. It was pretty neat. T-shirt. We go in there, and there's a hot blonde one. And where there's a hot blonde, what do you have next to her usually?
Grenade.
A little piggy one. She was cute, though. She was
Payson.
So you guys were Rochambeauing for...
No, Mark climbed.
Did he really?
He was trying real hard to get to the blonde. The Guardian was on the blonde, too. So I went straight line. Fastest route to the boobs. Not hogging. You just knew she was going to be a hog.
Did the Knights Inn have a pool? Did you say that?
Good Lord, no. If it did, I wouldn't have gotten in it. She wasn't a hog.
Cold. These are shorts?
No, they were jean shorts. It was even worse than that. Although I did like those.
That might be them up in the middle there. You just can't see the whole thing.
I think I actually really like those blue ones now. I'd wear those. Those 5-inch? I like those. Anyway, oh, God. It's just going through the beautiful
There we
shorts.
go.
Yeah, now we're in the mix.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you this. If you find them, it had, I think it was almost in gold writing down the side, Bugle Boy.
I'm looking. I'm searching.
So she's the girl who was going to be huge. It's like a Judy Blume book. The girl was going to be huge. Wasn't there yet, but you could see the signs, right? So we go back, and she's like, hey, Bugle Boy, because that's what she called me. So that was cute. And she goes, what do you guys got in your room? Any drinks? I'm like, no. And she goes, show me. I'm like, oh.
It's on.
All right. So I take chunks.
Let's go back to your palace, because don't they have royalty-looking thing in the Knights Inn?
No, it wasn't the Knights Inn yet. So she's working. The Bugle Boy shorts are being stretched to their limits. It's a dry hump festival. The guy underneath is pounding the ceiling like a I don't know where he found a broom, but you hear gong, 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 stop, please. Because we're just bong, 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 bong. Oh. And then she goes, I got to take a break. I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing you out. Yeah, I need a smoke. Right in the middle of, like, making out and stuff. She's sitting on me.
Look out, Bugle Boy.
With her shirt off. Occasionally, between puffs, she gives a little grind. The old puff and grind. Gives a little grind, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Then we start making out again, and something falls into my mouth. And I think it's a filling. I'm not sure.
There's a tonsil stone.
It could have been that. That's possible.
Oh, my God. I've never...
The Parliament might have knocked a tonsil stone loose. So she's going,
glacier.
whatever it was, my brain went, you just swallowed dental work. You swallowed dental work. In Payson, I assumed it was a tooth or a part of a tooth. You swallowed some of her teeth. Brian Regan's in my head the whole time. You're swallowing this woman's mouth that's falling out in your mouth. You're eating her mouth. Get your tongue out of there. So now I'm kind of grossed out. She's like, do you want to? I'm like, I don't know what. The old puff and grind starts again. I'm like, all right. And then bang on the door. Get out of you kids. I told you no parties. And here you are. I'm like, what were you thinking? It's like 2 a.m. We have to go. We go back to their house. She's like, our parents aren't home. I'm like, why'd you get a hotel? We just want to have some fun. I'm like, all right. So we go back to this girl's place, and she won't. Now she's just this big fat magnet that won't leave me alone. And I'm on the recliner, and I keep looking at Mark, who's striking out left and right with a hot one, and the Guardian is putting up every defense. So it's these
They're blocking each other.
These two dudes are next to this angel, the Jamie Presley of Payson. She's not budging. I got, Valerie Bertinelli's worst form sitting next to me now, because now I'm seeing
more gravel in her mouth.
Now I'm seeing all the problems. Like, she went from being the girl who was going to be fat to like Mama Cass with one. She was just all of a sudden. I'm like,
one stone will do that.
She's tugging. She's doing everything right in front of everybody, just reaching in and giving the old fashioned. And I'm like, all right, that's it. 5 a.m. I'm like, we got to go. Sun's coming up. We're gone. And Mark and I, he had a red S10 pickup, and I had a white Jeep CJ7, and we bought walkie-talkies to talk to each other on the drive.
Keep each other up.
I never knew what blue balls were, and we were about 25, 30 miles out of Payson, and all of a sudden, in the nuts. I got the doors off the Jeep. It's
cold,
6
so they're up there?
It's good. The sun's coming up. It's August, so it is.
Okay.
For some reason, we're just freezing where we were. We were just annoyed by it. It's chilly though. I'm not. And I walkie-talkie. Mark, come back. What's taking you? So why are you driving so slow? My feet don't work. I can't feel my legs. Something happened. Something bad. That pig broke my hips. I lost some nerve damage. I got something going on. I'm like, oh no, I'm losing him. Now I see his red truck way down the hill. I'm like, I can't. I got to do something about this. And I pull over on one of those emergency truck ramps, and my body tells me what you need to do. So on the corner, on the outside of the Beeline Highway, I've told this before, but outside, the Beeline Highway on one of those big rock truck escape routes on the downhill.
A truck didn't stop the truck.
17-year-old dude in jean shorts just tossing his stuff, getting rid of the poison right there, wide open, just standing there beating off on the side of the Beeline. Too.
Did Saguaro take the brunt of it?
No, most of it happened just aside to the Jeep. And all I could think of, God, I hope no semi-truck loses control right now because this would be the worst way to die.
It's not going to be able to stop.
You'll be on the side of the road.
And the poor trucker's like, I can't control. What's going on the outside? What the hell's that kid beating off on the... And he runs me over, and that's his last memory. And he's got to tell it. So if there are people who drove... Did you see that, honey? There's a kid in a Jeep beating off on the side of the street there at 6 a.m. Payson.
It's okay. Blue balls.
Swallowed a filling last night. Couldn't close. You swallowed your own filling? I wish.
He's okay. We can move on.
So that's Payson people.
You should have let the Chocodile Queen finish you off, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm almost positive some of her dental work. And then I'd have to say, Payson dental work? No. That was probably just some Bondo she put on a hole in her mouth.
Telling you, it's tonsil stone.
Ugh. I thought of that ever. Well, the story changes. Either way, thanks, Payson, for that memory.
Passed some porcelain 2 days later.
Oh.
Tink.
The puff and grind's kind of hot, though. If I could get a hot smoker. She had to take a break because it was nicotine time. We were enjoying ourselves. She's like, I gotta take a break. I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing your ass. Out. I need a cigarette. I'm going to pass out.
I give it to you for rallying up.
I had no problem with cigarettes. That doesn't bother me.
Brothel, just the puffing.
Yeah, I dated a girl who smoked. Never bothered me. Yeah. It probably would today, but it doesn't. It didn't then. At that time, my mom smoked, and you know, Brady, you make out with your mom every once in a while. The smell of that was never.
She has to stop for a couple of days.
Brady French kissed his mom once in a story the other day, and we have no idea why. Yeah, I bet your mom did the puff and grind on your dad a few times. Oh, two armpits too.
I don't see nothing wrong
with little puff and grind. You know what? While we were making out, I lost a crown. Do you have that in your mouth anywhere? No, I think I swallowed that. Oh, there's nothing worse than...
Might have gotten some gold.
Not in Payson.
We're going to have to wait for that to pass.
That was not gold.
Time up.
Fool's gold.
You ain't getting away with that.
All she liked doing was making out, though. We gotta get this thing moving a different direction here. I just love kissing you. You're a great kisser. Okay. Well, your teeth are falling out, man. It's like one of those dreams where you just swallow your own teeth. Anyway, so take that, Payson, the Cincinnati of Arizona. Toledo's the Tucson, Cincinnati and Payson and Sholo, very similar. Cincinnati's just gigantic Payson. That's a good way to put it.
Wow.
It's a gigantic.
I liked it. I thought Mount Adams was cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
But that's up away from the...
But again, you're not talking about the individuals that make up Cincinnati. Cincinnati isn't a thing without people.
Yeah.
The mountains are pretty. The river's gorgeous. And there's Kentucky and Cincinnati all attached to it. And Brady, you can say it's
Those
Ohio.
Are easy to keep away from.
I know it hurts when I dig into Ohio, but you have to admit, you don't have that kind of love for Indiana, and it's 10 steps from Cincinnati, and you've got to admit it's the same place. That southern Indiana area, and it's awful. It shouldn't be part of the United States anymore.
It can change within 20 minutes.
No, it can't. It can be Cincinnati the whole way through, and then it bleeds into Indiana, and there's nothing different. It's awful down there. If I got a job transfer, if Cincinnati offered me millions of dollars, I'd be like, absolutely not. Because unless I can do it from here, the only thing I'm going to do is tell everybody to get out of that godforsaken dump. Like, why do you people live here? It's beautiful. It's God country. No, it's not.
Kings Island, bro.
They got amusement park, and they got chili with skitty in it. All right, you guys are disgusting. They ought to just sprinkle meth on top of that chili. Skyline. You're going to fly above it. Anyway, so Payson, I thank you for that. I don't know how I got off on the Payson story, but it's Cindy's fault. You ever jerked off on the side of a road?
No, that's a new one.
I know Brady has.
That one I have not ticked off.
Have you, Brady? You have not.
My bingo card.
I haven't.
You did it in an Ajo House parking lot. You made messes there, but that was with another person, so it's better.
Yeah,
we've all done the parking lot thing, Yeah,
everybody's,
everybody's had at it, but not just by themselves. I'm proud of that.
Nor have I made out with some broad from Payson either. But
that's...
You didn't swallow a tonsil stone?
No.
You know what?
Still nasty.
Try to go the whole route. Win the race with that under your belt. Get to your death. I want my last words to be, at least I never made out with someone from Payson. I can't say that. I can't have that epitaph. Never made out with a girl from Payson. Yeah, I don't understand it. I met people in New Mexico on the Breaking Bad tour who moved from San Diego to Payson because she said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Arizona." She goes, "Oh, us too. Where?" And I'm like, "Oh, Phoenix." She goes, "Oh, we're from Payson. Moved there from San Diego." I'm like, "Did you lose a bet?
What
Is
a
it
change.
witness relocation?" I'm like, why? Why? Oh, we just thought it was beautiful. I'm like, "Did you see the people or did you just go look at cabins?" "Oh, it's different. That's for sure." Yeah, one's society with functioning adults and the other is Payson. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, Payson, I love looking at you, but I don't want to meet you. You're the pretty girl with all the problems. You don't want to scratch too deep into the Payson surface. It's crazy up there. Anyway, let's get a wake-up song, shall we? A good one. 585-9800, that's the number, and we'll scream it together. It's 98 KUPD. Wake up!
The best the world has to offer in music, drama, and comedy.
KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.